Hey guys, MJ here from Nitecore Gear. The king of the ring is back, the SRT7i, and it is incredible. Right, I'll show you how it stacks up against other similar lights and the 8 key design features that makes this the ultimate long beam light for tactical users that have come out of Nitecore to date. Right, before we begin, if you want to win this latest SRT7i, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Comment below on how this SRT7i will help you in the kind of work that you do, right, versus what you're using now. Once we hit 500 likes, I'll announce the winner in the description box below. So let's start with the biggest question. What's the difference between the SRT7i and the SRT6i? Right, they look exactly the same and was released just a few months apart. So who is this designed for? Let's unpack this. So brightness wise, SRT6i caps out at 2100 lumens. The SRT7i goes up to 3000 lumens. So immediately you get a more intense beam with longer reach, right? So another difference is the rubber charging cap of the SRT6i versus the metal one of the SRT7i. This metal covers were previously only reserved for their highest end lights like the TM12K, right? This drastically increases the durability of the light. Rubber ones will crack or snap off over the years if you don't take care of it. So there's no rubber parts at all on the external of the new SRT7i, except for the O-rings near the screw threads, but they're still inside. So this is a huge upgrade from a usability, longevity point of view. The last and most important difference is the tail cap switch. The SRT6i has a step ring that you twist and then it lands on low, medium, turbo, lockout and so on. The SRT7i, however, has infinite adjustment. So this means you can go from 0.1 all the way to 3000 lumens. You can dial it to the exact brightness you need. Turn it off, on again, and it stays the same. This is how it originally worked on the SRT3, SRT5, SRT6, SRT7, SRT9, SRT7 GT, and finally 4 generations later, the SRT7i. Alright, so this also means you're getting years of research and development all jammed into this amazing tail cap here. So someone asked the other day if you can run the SRT7 tail cap on the SRT6, right, to get the same infinite adjustment. Yes, you can, but I don't see why you want to do that as the cost between either light is not that big. If you want the infinite adjustment, just go for the SRT7i. Performance wise, compared to the other high-end offerings like the MH25, P23i, P30, this I would say is the tip of the spear, right? All of the best learnings from other models have been designed into this SRT7i. So here's how it works. There's more to the tail cap switch than just the brightness ring. There's 2 buttons, the power button and the strobe ready button. Each button has 2 stages of press, half press and full press. Right, so I know it sounds complex, but it's not once you start to use it. The ring controls brightness. Right, so if you are somewhere in low mode, half press will let you signal in low. Right, I can do my SOS 3 long 3 short, no problem. Right, make it brighter and I can signal at the same full brightness. Full control for whatever your situation demands. Now full press and it stays on. Now if you twist the ring all the way to the tactical mode, which says TAC here, the power button behaves differently. In tactical mode, half press will get you a low 100 lumens for subtle movements, checking bags and such. Then full press will go to full 3000 lumens. Now for the other mode button, it works independent of the control ring, no matter where it's at. So half press the mode button will get you 3000 lumens turbo. Full press will get you 3000 lumens strobe. So unlike other lights, there is no cycling or twisting to get to turbo. You don't have to break grip if you're holding a firearm. Everything can be controlled from one hand as you clear through rooms. Good example, if I can have this on low, one-handed walk around. When I need turbo, I can just half press the mode button. Right, let go, it goes back down to 100 lumens. If I need instant strobe, I can just full press the mode button. Right, tap again and it goes back to low. Lights like the MH25S, right, same spec, 40mm bezel, but it's impossible to go from low to high because you have to press the side button here and cycle through to go high and then go back and then do high again. Then to go into strobe, you have to press and hold until you get it. And then this is how it works. This is one of the key reasons why so many first responders use the SRT7i, because it operates in the way that they are trained to move through dark areas, right, with light discipline always on low and only high when you need it, right, and it always goes back to low. At this point you might ask, hey, so what's the difference between turbo and strobe? Right, as one operator puts it, it draws 100% attention of anyone you point it at because of how distracting and different it is, especially for drivers from the rear view mirror or side window. If you point at them on just turbo, it looks like a high beam from another car. but if you strobe them, they have to look because it looks very different. Right, this is the same for crowd control. In clubs, for example, there are already flashing lights in there, but when you come in with a non-linear strobe light, it shocks them because it's completely different. Right, it's this visual shock that helps you get their attention or give you the split second to take action. In terms of construction, other trade professions, strobe is also used to signal danger. If you want to warn a large vehicle or from coming in or hitting something, you can strobe them and they'll stop. So the last benefit of the ring controls, this is the first time ever that you can easily lock out your light by twisting the light all the way to the left. So this disables all controls, because even with the P20iX, some of the users were saying the light accidentally turns on in the holster when they bump onto it because there is no lockout on the P20iX. Some even burn a hole through their pouch because the light was turned on without them knowing. So this lockout mode on the SRT7 is a very welcome feature. So next we move on to another important benefit, silent switches. So here's the sound of the P23i turning on. Here's the sound of the SRT7i turning on. It sounds much more muted. Right, so there's an entire security branch that's using the P18. I hear the sound of the P18 turning on. Right, completely silent because they needed silent switches when raiding buildings. Something as small as a light switch will give their position away. So the SRT7i delivers with its new rubberless switches. Right, these metal ones give you a very clean, precise feel of the two-stage mechanism. This leads me to the next important point on silent signaling. If you're on radio silent, many teams will communicate with signals. So if you're approaching a ship or dock at night, you'll flash a blink code so they won't fire at you. So that's great for distance, but what if I need to signal you from across the street but I don't want to reveal my location to everybody? Now you can, so just twist it to low, right, and then now you can signal discreetly. Right, bright enough for your team to see without you revealing your location to everyone further away. Now that we got the whole tail cap out of the way, let's move on to beam type. Now it's meant to be used with firearms, hunting, distant applications, so you're going to get a very tight, more focused hotspot to light up your target. So one of the problems using a floodlight to do that, if you actually try at night at 50 meters away, you can't tell what someone is holding. Is that a knife, a black stick, handphone, wallet? Right, with a focused beam like this and a high CD rating, you can put more lumens in a concentrated spot so you can actually see what they're holding. Pro tip, the easiest way to compare beam type without looking at actual beam shots is in the CD rating. Okay, the higher the number, the more focused the beam is. You can find this number on all NC charts here. The SRT7i has 7 times the CD rating compared to a P20iX, that's why the beam is 7 times more focused. This is another key thing to look out for if the flashlight you're buying has no NC charts and tells you things like it has a wide vision, a true max beam. They're selling marketing fluff to you. Right, go for lights with real measurements so you know exactly what you're getting. The next feature is a real strike bezel here. Right, there are many lights that claim to have strike bezels and they look like this TM9K tech. So these are marketed to help in a self-defense situation when you're hitting skin and bone, but as a first responder, you're not going to do that, right? You'll be using it to break through car windows, random obstacles blocking your way through urban areas. And when you actually bash this type of rings on, say, a concrete corner at a bad angle, the rings will bend because it's too thin, and then you get damage like this, the glass cracks. Right, so that's why they've made the entire front head of the SRT7i from hardened steel. So you have a rock solid bashing bezel. On top of that, they've also added 3 hardened ceramic beads so that focus all your force into a single point, instantly shattering car windows as a glass breaker. This and the SRT6i are the only 40mm bezel lights with a real strike bezel. Other models like the MH25 series are all soft aluminum. So this is a key point if you're deciding between other long beam lights of the same bezel size but with a huge impact difference. To help withstand the impact, they've also added heavy duty front springs to stop the battery from slamming into the circuit board. Here's the difference between having front springs and no front springs. So when you drop the battery in, it will bounce out. That means there's springs in the front. Alright, if you drop the battery into a light with no front springs, right, the impact is very heavy, it will go straight down. Front springs will protect the front circuits against constant impact, weapon recoil and bashing, right? Lights like this, the MH11 with no front springs, if you drop it too often, the battery will gradually go down and hit the circuit, damaging your light. So that's why some of the cheaper lights you buy, if you drop it on the floor once, the whole thing is dead because the battery has broken through the circuit. The size of the bezel also helps with grip, so when you hit something, your grip doesn't slip through like other slim profile lights. Tiny little considerations like this matter when you actually use it in reality. Alright, so next are carry options. The SRT7i comes with a standard 3-way nylon holster with a top cover like that. If you don't like the up-facing holster and you want a faster draw, you can opt for the NCP40, which is MOLE compatible on the back. The light goes in like this, bottom first, and you can hold your light in any orientation, top, down, best side, right? It's not going to go anywhere. If you want it to be more secure, you can loop extra velcro over the top like this, and now it's really not gonna go anywhere. If you prefer cleaner options with just a belt clip, you can. With this design, it holds the pocket clip under the tail cap, so this way is more secure than older lights like the P20iX. They use these clamp-on designs that will just pop off. If I yank really hard on this pocket clip, it will just pop off the front. If you prefer lanyard loops, you can run it this way as well. So you got hammer fist and if there's some kind of retention, okay? The slimmer profile buttons also mean less accidental activation, and it can tail stand. The earlier P20iX lights had no loops, so it could not tail stand. Right, it will just drop. Okay, so it's up to you how you want to run it. There are many options. If you're looking for attachments, use these 40mm size filters and cones. Right, just pop this on the front and they become an insanely visible 3000 lumen traffic beacon. Right, filters, we also have the full range of red, green, blue, and even a white diffuser. Just pick the 40mm filter. Right, so just pop it on this way and you get a red light. Last is the battery type. Now the reason why he has almost double the runtime of previous lights is the 21700 batteries, and this is compared to the 18650 battery. So at 300 lumens, the smaller one will give you 5 hours, and this larger 21700 battery will give you 7 hours. So here's a comparison between this and a AA battery. Look at how small, okay? So this means less downtime recharging your lights. You don't have to carry a lot of spares. You can charge the battery via the built-in USB-C port here, right, through your vehicle or laptop, or via power bank as well. It just takes 2.5 hours to fully charge the included 5000 mAh battery, which is the fastest built-in charger yet. So if you want to charge it even faster, you can go for the external chargers like the CI one here. These will take about 90 minutes to charge. If you are looking for portability, go for the UI one, but these will charge it a bit more slower. Note that this light is not compatible with any 18650 or normal 21700 batteries. You can only use the 21700i batteries from Nitecore, right? So these are the batteries with the... So that's it, the key features that makes this the ultimate long beam light for tactical users that has come out of Nitecore. The infinite adjustment control, the instant turbo, instant strobe, right? Silent switches, silent signaling, the long tight beam profile, the real strike bezel, multiple ways to carry, and lastly the high capacity modern batteries. All that in a waterproof one-handed light. So should you buy an SRT7i, if you're just using this at home or in a vehicle, then the control ring wouldn't matter much to you, right? So in those cases, you could go for the MH25S or even the MH25V2 for similar performance but without all the bells and whistles. But if the points above make sense to you and it means you're squarely in the range of who they're designing for, and there's no better long beam duty light out there right now for 2023, right, than the SRT7i. So don't put your personal safety on inferior flashlights that claim to be tactical. Now you know what technologies are out there today. You can see for yourself if your light checks off the key things I mentioned earlier. Now Nitecore has been making lights for professional operators for years. Over 15 different international agencies have Nitecore as their standard issue, so they know exactly how their lights are being used, the increasing challenges that operators face on the ground, and what's expected of future gear. So when you have over 7 years, yes, 7 years of R&D built into a light, it's quite impossible to go wrong. Right, these are all in stock now at nitecorelights.com, and if you buy online from us today, there's an amazing bundle with lots of freebies included, so do check it out in the link in the description below. If you need to buy in bulk for your team, just email us on the website and we'll be able to work out a deal for you. As usual, these will sell out fast, so order yours today. Once your order is placed, we'll courier everything to your door within a couple of days. As usual, this comes with a 60-day money-back guarantee and 3 years fuss-free warranty, so there's no risk at all. If you'd like to see more videos like this where we help you choose the best lights for your work or adventures, subscribe below and do check out this next video here. Alright, MJ signing out.